Hi, my name's Kathy Skipper and I'm a menopause midwife. Welcome to my channel, The Alchemy of Menopause. In this video, I'm going to talk a tiny little bit about the alchemical stage sublimatio and how it can help women get a higher perspective on their lives during perimenopause and menopause so that they can see clearly where they've been, where they're at, and where they're going. And then I'm going to lead you into meditation that hopefully will give you some insights and directions for your life at this moment. So at midlife, we often find ourselves asking, who am I now? What's the next part of my journey going to look like? Or what do I want to do now that I've got 2 or 3 decades ahead of me? My children have grown up. What are my desires? What do I want to bring into my life and into the world? Who do I want to be? What direction do I want to take? What's important to me now? And how am I going to get there? Often also at perimenopause, a lot of the past comes up. So there's a lot of going through old challenging things and working out how to heal them, how to integrate them. So all this comes up at menopause, and it's sometimes very helpful to get a higher perspective. Often it's like we're at the steering wheel of our life, and all we can see is the next traffic lights, the next turning left, then have to stop there, and we're just seeing this far ahead. And this stage in alchemy is called sublimatio. And it's really when the alchemists in the laboratory were working with their material so that it would become a gas and it would rise. But for the psyche, it means that we are able to rise beyond the steering wheel of our life just momentarily to have a better perspective, a bigger view of what's going on, so we can make decisions that are going to be beneficial for us and for the world. So this is important for women because, as I said, women now live on average in Europe, I think it's 81 years old, and in the US, it's 79. So we have 2 to 3 decades of life postmenopausal. And so we need to clear out the past and see where we're going. Okay, so let's begin this meditation. First of all, you can put me on pause so you can make sure that you're in a comfortable place where you're not going to be disturbed. Okay, so relax. And first of all, if you're lying down, you can feel yourself connected to the earth through your back. You're sitting up through your feet and through the energy of your root chakra. So really feel the earth wherever you are. For some reason, today, it might be the place you live, it might be that you've just come on holiday, it might be that you're visiting or you're at work, or wherever you are, you're meant to be, and the earth of that place is holding you. You are safe. Remember to breathe. And as you tune into the earth where you are, and it doesn't matter if you're on the 3rd floor or 10th floor or ground floor, the earth is still holding the building and you. As you tune into that, feel your body resonating and connecting to the earth. And as you do, it's reminding you that you're part of the earth and that you are safe. And then drop your attention down into your womb space. Doesn't matter if you've had a hysterectomy, you still have an energetic center, an energetic womb space. So drop in there. You might feel your sexual organs just twitching a little bit, saying welcome. They're all connected to this central inner creative center of the feminine. And really feel that sensation of centeredness as you come into the body and you settle into that space. Again, reminding yourself that you are safe. And as you get settled, nestle in. I like to see that inner hearth burning, little fire in the hearth, not too hot, but enough fire to have the energy of life. There might be a nice kettle on there and you're making yourself a herbal tea. Really settle in, nice soft furnishings on the floor and cushions. You're safe and comfy in that inner space. It's cozy. Remember to breathe. And once you're settled, eyes closed, relaxed, bring to your mind's eye a beautiful, tall mountainside, and you're nearly at the top of that mountainside. You've climbed all the way up and you're nearly at the top. You can see the top. It's not far. Notice the mountain. It can be one that you know and that you've climbed, or it can be an imaginal one. But it's beautiful and lush and high. You're just a few steps from the top. You can see the top. It's high and rises above everything else around it. Finally, you make those last few steps and you get to the top. You're just about to look around, and in front of you, the goddess Hecate appears, the goddess of the crossroads, the goddess who can see where you came from, where you are, and where you're going, the goddess that talks to your intuitive knowing. You look her in the eye and she looks at you. Dear one, she says, use this high vantage point to learn and see patterns and pathways in your life. You need this new perspective to be able to walk forward into the next stage of your existence. I will be by your side throughout this journey. And poof, she disappears, but you know she's there in her own way. Remember to breathe. You look around and you look down and you see yourself in your life, in your present life. You're anchored in your present life, the life you're living at this moment. But the difference is, from this vantage point, you're able to look at it with clarity. Not just, like we said, from behind the steering wheel of the next step. From this higher perspective, you can see it clearly. You're not weighted down with emotions or the heaviness or the struggles or the busyness. You're just seeing these important factors of what make up your life today. Remember to breathe. And there's nothing to do, nothing to change, just allow. No judging, just noticing. Once you've taken in with clarity your present existence, the important points that join up to make your life, you're at the center and there are these different points. It might be your work, your grandchildren, your creative life, your colleagues, your partnership, your home, your passions, your sport, whatever things that link up to make your life your life. Once you've seen and noticed these, you start to turn on the mountain top and look below and behind you, where your whole life before you reaches out and back across the landscape. When you look beyond the life you're living now, you see where you have come from. First of all, you notice the recent past. And again, from this higher perspective, you're clear. You see it without all the emotions, without the challenges, without even the emotions of the joy. You're just seeing it for what it was. You see yourself in your 40s with clarity and awareness. You notice who you were then, what your hopes and aspirations were, the things that worked and the things that didn't. Your big life's experiences during that epoch, how these experiences shaped you. Just allow what wants to show itself to show itself. The decisions, the life paths that came from these experiences, the joys, the challenges. Remember to breathe. If any feelings come up, just allow. Nothing to do, nothing to change, nothing to judge, just allow. You then look further back behind you and you see yourself in your 30s. This adult self, maybe just having children or starting a new career or moving house, all the important things that happened on your life path during your 30s, the choices, the decisions, the paths you took that took you to your 40s, that took you to your 50s, that took you through life. And just allow the ones that want to show you to arise as you look behind yourself at the woman you were in your 30s, your dreams and hopes and aspirations, at the things that worked and the challenges and the things that didn't happen as you'd wanted them to happen. Nothing to do, nothing to change, just allow. No judgment, no analysis, just awareness. If any emotions come up again, just allow, notice and allow with that awareness, but not having to do anything or think about them. Just open to what wants to present itself. Remember to breathe. And then when you're ready, you look further back and you see yourself in your 20s. A young woman stepping into life. Again, with all her hopes and desires, maybe studying, building relationships, testing out paths of life. Notice how you were in your 20s, what wants to come up to show you, what made you you, what were the big moments in your life during your 20s, what were the wins and celebrations, what were the challenges and hardships, all those that made you who you were in your 30s, who made you who you were in your 40s, and so on. Just notice, who was she, this beautiful woman in her 20s, with her insecurities, with her challenges, with her joys, with her laughter, with her tears. Remember to breathe. And then when you're ready, you look further back and you see yourself there in your adolescence, in your teen years. This young, pubescent girl, a menstruation, her first menstruation, a changing body, looking out into the world from the safety of her family or not, wondering, who is she? Where's she going? What's important to her? What were her challenges, her desires, her wins and celebrations, her failures? Who was that young, pubescent girl who grew through her teens? was she doing? What was important to her? How did she maneuver herself through this new world she was growing up in? Remember to breathe. And as you notice this adolescent part of yourself, she beginning her first period, growing into a young woman, on that cusp, like you're on a cusp now. She was on a cusp between her innocent, childlike self and a woman going into the world, and you're on a cusp now between your fertile self, fertile maybe in motherhood, but fertile in your hormones, fertile in your life, fertile in mothering your creations, mothering your work, mothering your path, mothering others, and going now into this next stage in your life of sovereignty, of wisdom, of feminine leadership. So how are those cusps similar? What was happening to that young girl? How was she feeling? What were her hopes and desires? And what's happening to you? How are you feeling? Are those hopes and desires coming back round in the circle, the ever renewing circle of life, as your hormones change and you go to a prepubescent hormonal self? Maybe some of those desires, some of those childhood parts of you, she who was one unto herself, maybe some of that is coming back. And as you turn, you see that childhood self. There she is, the prepubescent girl, the little girl. What did she love? What were her desires? What did she spend her time thinking about, dreaming about, doing, playing? Maybe she loved dolls and made hospitals and wanted to be a healer or a nurse. Or maybe she loved playing outside. She was a tomboy and she was climbing trees. She loved nature. She loved animals. Whatever it is, just honor and notice what she spent her time thinking about, dreaming about, playing and doing. And honor, as you look back, honor these deep, true, authentic passions you felt as a child. Even if you weren't able to live them, honor that they were there deep inside you, waiting. Remember to breathe. Notice how these passions came back in your life or are coming back now. If any emotions come up again, just allow. Nothing to do, nothing to change, just allow. Finally, you see yourself being born. Your mother birthing you into the world. You see the type of birth you had. You see whether it was easy and loving and joyful, or maybe you were born by cesarean and you were struggling to get out. Maybe your mother was given drugs to help her and you sensed and felt some of those drugs. Whatever it was, no judgment, just awareness. Was it easy and beautiful or hard and painful? Just honor it. Maybe you notice how that birth pattern played out in other rebirth moments of your life, and now you're bringing awareness to it. You don't have to repeat it. Remember to breathe. And at this point, you start to turn and you see a river flowing behind your birth story. And you realize this is the river that represents your motherline. It's the channel of your motherline. It's the energy flowing through your motherline. It's fluid and watery. And all the women whose shoulders you are standing on are part of that river, your mother and her stories of being a woman, the joys and the traumas, the way she made herself fit into the society that she grew up in, the survival strategies she had to put into place in order to get by. As you notice your mother and her life and how she fitted in, her challenges and her joys, her struggles, her mothering of you. You also notice the things that maybe you've inherited from her, the patterns, the beliefs. And then you see your grandmother behind her, and you see that your grandmother's life fitting into the society as it was when your grandmother was born and then a young woman, and all the things she had to learn to fit into the values of the society at the time, and the struggles she had in her life with being a woman, and the relationships she had and birthing her children. And you notice what she passed on to your mother that passed on to you, and then you see your great grandmother, and so on. You sit with that and allow that energy to flow, noticing that this is the channel of life, and you are just a point on that channel of life. Remember to breathe. You feel that energy flowing into you. Some of it needs clearing. Some of it was painful, and some of it is unintegrated traumas that need healing. And other parts of it are the resilience and the gifts of your motherline. And you just allow. Nothing to do at this point. We're in sublimatio. We're just bringing awareness, the expansiveness of our story. And after taking all this in and seeing how you got to this point in your life, and how the choices you made and the traits you took on led you to this place, and the paths you chose led you to where you are now, you turn to look from the top of the mountain, and you look forwards to your life not yet lived. You look ahead into the future, knowing what you've just seen behind you. You see new choices, new pathways, new places, new destinations, new possibilities. And you know that you need to listen to your soul. You need to heal what needs to be healed from the past and integrate it. Let it come into awareness so that you can learn its gift, learn its wisdom at this point in your life, so that moving forward, your soul can show you where it wants to go and what it wants to do, so that you move forward not from a place of shoulds or ought tos or old patterns of survival, old values from patriarchal systems. No, from a place of feminine evolution, from a soulful place deep inside you. You remember the pubescent girl you promised to honor. You remember her desires and passions as she went from childhood and started menstruating and looking into life. And you notice which of these are still alive in you, which of these still need to be honored, and you commit to them, to honoring this part of yourself as you look ahead. Remember to breathe. And again, nothing to do, nothing to change, just bring awareness, this beautiful higher perspective onto the whole. Allow yourself this time to imagine new directions. Imagine yourself forging new pathways, honoring deep parts of yourself, listening to soul. And when you're ready, you notice Hecate has arrived again. She says, "Well done. You have done a beautiful work of awareness, and I am proud of you. Now take the path back into your life, back into the world, back into the material existence you've chosen in this lifetime." And she points to a path, and it's a path that spirals back down the mountain, a beautiful spiral, labyrinthian path. And you spiral down and down and down and down until your awareness is back inside your womb space, anchored in your creative center, ready for the next stage in your life. Welcome home, sister. Okay, well done. If you'd like to journal on anything that came up, you could just journal away, or you could begin with a prompt. So here are a few prompts that might help you. I'm starting to see that my personal myth is ... My personal myth is helping me grow ... My personal myth is teaching me ... The gift of my unique personal myth is ... Okay, and I hope you make a commitment to yourself to heal and move forward, listening to and honoring your soul in this beautiful stage in your life. As usual, for those people who are new on here, please don't forget to go to menopausealchemy.com, which is my website. And on the homepage, if you scroll down to the last but bottom box, you'll be able to download free my PDF workbook, which was the workbook that I created as I was going through my own menopausal journey 10 years ago now. And if you like this work, please subscribe to my channel. Lots of love.